okay? So she's criticizing this woman for being 80, which is age shaming at its best. I hope I get to be 80. I'm not sure my path in life will let me get to be 80. A lot of people listening to this will not make it to 80. That's just a statistic and a fact. I know people. I just had a friend that lost someone in their life very, very young. May someone never have to go through that. So I hope that I'm an 80-year-old one day. I hope I am. If I am an 80-year-old, I hope that I can work. I mean, what 80-year-old is working? Employers, age discrimination is very alive and well out there. Most people will not employ an 80-year-old. Now, you can't say I'm not employing you because you're 80. We can have a whole bunch of other reasons why. But I hope I'm an 80-year-old that's alive, and I hope I'm an 80-year-old that gets to go to work. What a gift to go to a job every day. So she's age shaming the person. So now she's talking about Bill's money and age shaming the person. Two big mistakes here, girl. Now, the guy behind her, they finally say, and by the way, think about it. When you go to a Starbucks or Chipotle, where the finance bros go for lunch in New York City, if you go to one of these places, you, at least in 2025, 2024, I don't really know many alternative places. Most of them, you wait in line, you order, you then pay, you then move to a whole different area to wait for your food. You pay and you move to the left or you move to the right. In Starbucks, it's usually the left. In Chipotle, it's usually to the right. So you pay and so when you want to add a sandwich, you wants to add the small tuna sub for Jacob, you're not at the register anymore in most of these places. You've now paid and are in your receiving food. So when you boogie on your shimmy to the left to go put something else in, someone else is now coming up and it's their turn. So when they say, well, we'll let you do that and you don't have to go to the back of the line, you just have to ask the guy behind you. And the guy says it's ridiculous. And she thinks that the guy is on her side and saying, like, it is ridiculous. They are very slow here. The guy was basically calling her ridiculous. Now think about it. Just think about this. Does anyone think about these situations big picture? Think about the fact if I'm standing in line, even if someone was rude like Jennifer Aydin, I would still probably say, go the fuck ahead and hurry the fuck up. But because I'm nice like that, and I just have a hard time saying no to things like that. But think about it. If you're not, what it takes for someone to probably say no, you got to be acting a certain way. I'm sure that you're just standing there and it's a sandwich. Wouldn't most people just say, yeah, go ahead. I don't really care. It's good. I'm going to wait for 3 more minutes. To say no, your behavior must be so egregious that someone is saying no. So he says no and he says it's ridiculous. And she thinks he's saying it's ridiculous, the whole situation. But he's talking about her and they say, well, we're only going to let you add on the sandwich now that you're already out of line and getting your food. If the guy behind you says yes, and the guy's like, no, it's not okay. You're acting ridiculous. So then she starts to go and she tells the guy, and this is where, I mean, is anyone still on Jennifer's side? Now, here's the thing, and this is a really serious question because I'm not being shady this year. Other than the podcast that Teresa allegedly pays and the bloggers that are on, and by the way, I am not shading you. I love money. I'm a different person this year than last year. Some things never change. I love money in 2025 just as much as I loved money in 2024. I love money. The new Murakami collection just dropped from Louis. Oh, has anyone checked out the Murakami collection at Louis Vuitton? Anyway, I love money. But you know what? So I'm not knocking the bloggers and the paid podcast from Teresa. You're on the take. So I understand that if you are receiving a little something, you're going to say it's okay what Jennifer did. I'm actually not knocking you. I'm not knocking you. I just want to know, do you really think it's okay? Does anyone other than the paid bloggers and podcasters from Teresa and Jen, like, come on, Jen called up, hey, crisis, hey, podcast, you're on the take, crisis, or blogger, whoever it is. And I don't pay attention to these things, but I think they're still out there. So they call them. Now, do they really think it's okay? Or look, again, get your money, get your bag, but between us, shh, Like you took the money and deposited the check, but shh, do you really think this is okay? This is a real question. Is there anyone out there? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people listening to this right now. Is anyone out there okay with Jennifer's behavior? No shade. It's an actual, true, real question. Is anyone in favor of her behavior? Is anyone okay with this behavior? Does anyone find it cute? Does anyone find it funny? Does anyone find Jen Aydin misunderstood? Does anyone find her behavior just like, oh, I get it. If I waited, I would have done the same type of thing. I would have talked about my husband. She also said, my husband's a surgeon. She also said to the guy that was upset with her behind, he said, I'm a law professor. I'm going to sue you if you post this. She said, a law professor, my husband's a surgeon. So she age shamed someone, said Bill gave a 20% tip at Shake Shack. She said, my husband's a surgeon, so I don't give a shit if you're a law professor. She's also now saying, I am a celebrity. I don't need to wait at the end of the line. So she's saying she's a celebrity. And she says to the guy, I can buy you 10 times over. I can buy you 10 times over. So I truly, very calmly would like to ask, does anyone think that this is cute or that she's right in her behavior? It is a true question. Slip into the comments. And then also, the podcasts that are allegedly paid by Teresa, the podcasts that are team to Jen and Teresa, and that's how they get their whatever. Although you're not getting any more inside information because there's no show. The show's over, guys. So those podcasts that received a little something for this, between you and I, off the record, do you think it's okay and it's cute because you're so far, or do you at least understand? I took the money and I need the money, but I mean, so publicly I'll be Team Jen, but between us, David, and all the behind the velvet rope listeners, I know this ain't cool. These are two actual real questions. I'm sorry I got sidetracked. So she talks about that she can buy. Who would say to someone, I can buy you 10 times over? Saying I'm a celebrity is pretty cringe. Saying my husband's a surgeon, that's less cringe to me, but cringe. The 20%, the age shaming. I just think I can buy you 10 times over. I think it might be the worst thing that came out of her mouth. I'm a celebrity is kind of almost right there. So these are the things that came over out of her mouth, and the guy says no, and that set her off. And that is kind of what happened. I mean, can you imagine? I'm just asking Sutton Strack, people with actual real money, not people that live in Paramus, New Jersey. And by the way, all parts of New Jersey are not created equal. Like Millburn is very, and I'm not being a snob. I'm just saying Paramus ain't exactly the most, what am I trying to say? The taxes are less. Like if you want a big house, and all big houses in New Jersey are not created equal. I guess that's what I'm saying. Just like any other state, there's states, there's places. Same with New York. You buy an apartment in New York on Central Park. It ain't the same price as an apartment in the financial district. Different prices. So can you imagine Sutton Strack, Kyle Richards, Jennifer Tilly saying, I can buy you 10 times over? Would Kathy Hilton say, I can buy you 10 times over? What about I'm a celebrity? Would Meryl Streep or I don't know, like, yeah, Meryl Streep, would Timothy Chalamet say that? So I don't know. It's very, very strange behavior. I find it very weird.